It is early October, and I am going to kind of close my hives down for the winter. I'm still going to feed them a little bit in the winter, but mainly I'm going to do an inspection. I'm going to look for brood, hopefully find the queen. And one of my hives, my good hive, my strong hive, I left the supers on in August, and they filled it up with honey. It's October. I haven't checked it in about 2 weeks, but they were starting to cap it. My second hive is a little bit weaker, and I'm hoping that that hive makes it through. I've already given them 2 frames of honey from the strong hive, but I'm going to check stuff out, and I'm taking that super off today no matter what. I may give more honey to my weaker hive, but basically this is what I have. I got my full bee suit on, I got my gloves, I got my hive tool and my bee brush so that I can brush the bees off the frame. I got my smoker. What I've been using with some success for me is I use just some newspaper and some pine straw for my smoker. That seems to work best for me. I also have an extra super so that I can transfer my frames onto this extra super. That just makes it easier. I'm going to inspect my strong hive first, and then I'm going to look at my weak hive in case I need to give my weaker hive some more honey frames. What else am I going to do? At the end, I am going to feed sugar water to both of my hives. I'm feeding them at the same time. My logic is if I feed them both, then the strong hive is going to be less likely to rob from the weaker hive. I do have an entrance reducer on the weaker hive so that they can guard it better. But yeah, I'm going to inspect my frames. I may do a small fall honey harvest just for fun, even if I get 4 frames, which I know isn't much, but just for the experience. There's a place I can rent a hand crank extractor. I may freeze a few of those frames to feed back later, but really I don't have any freezer space. We just have a family freezer. So I know it's good to save the frames if you can, but this year I don't have the space. So yeah, let's inspect the big hive, see how she's doing, and then we're going to check out the baby hive, the weaker hive. Wow, this is a nice looking super, and this is frame. This is my second frame from the end, so I'm expecting the rest to have honey, hopefully. And it looks beautiful. I just took off my extra honey super, and it is loaded up. I think it's more honey than my first harvest in August. But now I need to get into the super and the hive body to see what their honey stores look like, to see if I should take this honey or not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dive in and see what it looks like. Hello. My strong hive, amazing hive. I can't believe it. So far I've gotten 20 pounds of honey earlier in the season. And then I also got 20 cut combs of honey from a small super. And now my medium super is completely filled again with honey. It's October. I'm going to inspect my small hive. I'm hoping that one makes it. I've given it some supplemental honey. Like I said, I don't have a place to store a lot of this honey for the winter, so I am going to be extracting it probably this weekend. I'm super excited. I already know I have to put in 2 new deep frames in my small hive. Those frames just fell apart. This is a tip. There's little pins that you can put inside your frames. I'll grab one. These frames here, especially for a deep body, using these pins are definitely well worth a small investment. I did use the pins on the ones that fell apart, but I think that was just bad handling early in the season, where I'm learning how to take the frames off as gentle as possible so I don't rip any frames that are attached by comb to each other. So these little pins, though, are a good investment. So let's open up this hive and see what she looks like. Good honey, good honey. New frame. So my second hive, doing okay. Not as much honey stored, but this hive lost its queen early in the season. It's been playing catch up all season. I gave it a few frames of honey from the strong hive, but I really don't want to risk losing both of my hives, so I'm going to feed my small hive like crazy sugar water to start, and hopefully they'll store enough food for the winter. But I don't want to keep giving surplus honey from my good hive to my small hive. Since I only have 2 hives, I don't want to end up with 2 bad hives. So hopefully they make it. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm going to feed them through the fall and winter. The good news is I am going to have a fall honey harvest my first year. I'm going to run an extractor. I'm going to have 10 supers of honey. I may take 2 out and freeze those to feed back to the bees in early spring, but I am super excited. I can't express how amazing my first year of beekeeping has been. Special thanks to my mentor, Jeff. A bee just went right across the camera, so that'll be cool if that happens on the actual video, but literally the bee just went right across the lens of the camera. But I want to give a special shout out to my mentor, Jeff. He has really taught me a lot. Maybe he's watching this video, so Jeff, thank you, man. I am just super excited. This is a great hobby that, you know, just maybe turning into a business. I've made a little bit of money in my first year, and it's not even about the money. It's just the challenge and the joy of beekeeping. So until next time, keep on keeping on.